What is going on to you Geminis out here? Hope y'all are having a great day. I don't have any kind of shout outs to do in this video. Um, Shout outs to the Geminis. So you have the Tower, the Lovers, which is Gemini, and then you have the Three of Cups. Okay, so for you Geminis, right? The Tower right here speaks to somebody's trying to disrupt your alone time that you Geminis want. You Geminis want alone time, and someone's trying to interrupt it. And what I mean when I say that they are effectively interrupting it in that sense, they're not trying to, they're looking to interrupt it, is a person. The reason why is because the Tower and the Lovers, right? This is the disruption of you paying attention to yourself and what you got going on. And the Three of Cups represents for the sake of this person that's trying to get your forgiveness or get them to trust them or get them to look at them, get you to look at them. You Geminis have to basically ignore this person because this person essentially is an idiot. So if you Geminis have family members, so-called friends, romantic interests that are getting on your nerves, individuals maybe at the job getting on your nerves, you Geminis have to be able to understand that distractions are a thing on this path. Don't get discouraged. Distractions are a thing. Don't allow yourself to get discouraged with this, with a distraction, I mean. Okay? Your self-image as well is also changing. And you Geminis are trying to figure out what your self-image is going to be and who you are. You are effectively learning more about yourself, but this person is trying to be a distraction. And they are a distraction. So this could also be a situation where it's even friends, right? Hanging themselves around you a little bit too much. They just hanging around you too much. You know what I mean? You Gemini socializing just a little bit too much. And then it's like you got all this, you spending all this time with this person, and yet you Geminis are still figuring out, and you're never gonna stop, mind you, but you Geminis are trying to get to a specific idea. And it's like you got this idiot, look, not calling them an idiot, but you have this, fam, I'm a Virgo. You have this person around you. Like, you know how when it is that like you trying to think and a person is around you and they doing so much or so much noise you can't hear yourself think? That's what this person's got going on. You hanging around this person, and it's like you want some quality time by yourself to really peep game as to who you are, and here this person is hanging around you, and you cool for the company, you glad for the company, but you don't want them to oversaturate you with the company to the point where you end up getting stagnant because you don't ever have time by yourself. The only time when you have time by yourself is when you're asleep, and early in the morning is when you're brushing your teeth or something like that. The order of the day is to come over at your place, or they want you to come over at their place, whatever. Nah. Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords represents, okay, cool. You Geminis actually have to cut ties with that person. You have to cut ties with that person. That person is an idiot. You realize that that person, all they're going to do ultimately is bring you Geminis down in more than one way. This person this person is not conducive. They're not a catalyst for your growth. They're not going to be around you when you Geminis are actually able to think, and they help you because they're on the same grind with you, and they're trying to raise their own excellence. They're in a situation where they're going through a heartbreak, or They trying to get you to stay. They trying to get you to not do what it is that you want to do. Because there's a lot of people like that. Because I've seen a lot of people like that myself. I've experienced it. How many times I told people that I used to hang out with that I got other things going on, and they thought that I didn't want to hang out with them, and maybe I couldn't hang out with them anymore. It would have been all right. And the reason why it would have been all right is because it's not like I was lying to them. School, working out, friends that I know from school, 3 jobs, a significant other, my homework. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like my life is packed. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and spend time with y'all, but I don't even see y'all every day. Every other day we getting into friction because y'all wanna sit down and toke something while it is that I'm at school. No, y'all wanna skip school. Some of them. Because some of them just dropped out. Yeah, well, my mother asked me to get at least a high school education, a high school diploma. Because whenever it is that I get out of high school, I can do whatever it is that I want. But at the least, I graduated from high school. I have a GED or an actual high school diploma. Because you went through it. Right? So you Geminis understood and understand what type of time it is. So you just cut ties with them because you Geminis understood what the assignment was. You couldn't hear yourself think with this person because the order of the day was to stand next to you constantly trying to get you to party and pay attention to them, and they needed constant maintenance. That's another reason too why it is that I'm a Sigma. Is because when you're the leader of a group, or when people appoint you to be their exalted leader of that group, guess what happens? Everybody wants to revert back to childlike behavior, and now it's like you have to wipe their butts. You have to cater to them in a way that a parent does a little one. You have to take care of them like that. I don't want to be a leader because what makes a person not a leader is the fact that they're not a visionary. They're not mature enough for that. They're not a visionary. And what I mean when I say that they're not a visionary, they want to give you problems because, oh, this person got it. This person is the leader of the group. This person is our appointed leader. So because this person is our appointed leader, X, Y, Z, blah, 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 I get to revert back to being stupid, and the leader will pick up my slack because the leader is so benevolent. That's why it is I stay away from the primera role, right? That Spanish for the leadership position, the first position. That's why it is that I personally, unless I can't avoid it, I personally stay away from the primera. My Spanish speakers, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. I stay away from the primera position. And what I mean when I say that, I'm talking about it from a perspective of this is part of the reason why it is I don't have a significant other. Must be because a lot of people like things that shine, especially in New York. And New York is statistically, and it is true, and it is factual, for at least in my position, New York is statistically, and it's been proven itself to be the truth, that it is one of the hardest cities to date in the world. Must be one of the reasons why it is I'm still single, because people like things that shine here. And for me, I'm not shiny. I'm okay being in the second position. I might even try you for third, fourth, or fifth because I understand what those positions actually have, the responsibility that a person has to have. And for me, as a person who wants to do their thing, I don't see it as positions that I would particularly enjoy, specifically being the primera, being the first, being the leader. I'm okay with being the second in charge, right? So what does that mean? What that means is you Geminis were the primera. You were, the order of the day was to hang out with you Geminis. But them doing all this hanging out, guess what happened? You don't have time for yourself. That job is demanding sometimes. I'm not saying all the time. Sometimes it's easy, but that job is demanding. Your little ones got to get fed. Even if you don't have little ones, you got to feed yourself. You have personal responsibilities too. When do you get a chance to actually experience things by yourself to where you get the peace and quiet? Then you have the Star card, the Magician, and the King of Cups. These three cards right here speaks to how you Geminis are not playing. Y'all are going after excellence. Even if you got to cut some people off from your life. Because the Star card, the Magician, and the King of Cups, they will never be able to ever understand what you Geminis got going on. They'll never be able to understand unless they go to, unless they come to, unless they understand, hey, this is what's going on. Unless they start chasing after their own excellence, they're not going to understand what the grind is like. This is why it is that you Geminis have, you'll see some people who don't understand what the grind is like, and then you'll see some people who do understand what it's like. People who understand what it's like, who do it, they're not just out here slowing down, being in a messed up disposition and crying about woe is them. This person sounded to me like this person was going through a bad breakup and they never got over it, but they need to because they're an adult. And then the thing is that then you have then you Geminis have the Moon and the Six of Wands. This person still tries to reach out to you, and you Geminis decided you don't even want to talk to them because you've already cut ties with them, and yet they're still calling you, even though you have formally cut ties with them. You Geminis are not answering that phone. You don't want them to come by. You're not answering that text message. You may have even blocked them. You're done because you Geminis are chasing after your own brand of excellence, whatever that may be. So let's clarify the Moon. What did I say, Gemini? I said when you chase an excellence, you're going to have to cut off a lot of people. Two of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, the Emperor, Seven of Swords, the Five of Swords, and then you have the Knight of Swords to clarify the Moon. Again, the Two of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Emperor. They, like I said, they're still calling you. But the Emperor, you don't have time to answer the phone because you Geminis are doing what you're doing. And this is what I mean when I say having a life trumps a lot of that. No pun intended. Having a life overpowers a lot of that. Because you have things to do, people to see, places to go. You legitimately have priorities going on. The Five of Swords and the Knight of Swords right here represents how, again, they don't understand that though. Because what I'm seeing here from this reading, I'm seeing that you Geminis are learning yourselves more spiritually, even more physically too, everything. And this person is just elbowing into what you got going on. They're trying to force themselves in your life. And you Geminis were patient with them to a certain extent because you're not that bad. You Geminis are not as terrible as people make it seem, right? Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like you wanted to be a good friend to this person. You wanted to be there for them is what I'm trying to say, right? I don't want people to misconstrue and somehow think that now I don't like Geminis or whatever, because you know that was a rumor for a little while. Like, oh, you don't like it. Nah, that's not true. I was in love with a Gemini for a very long time, for years, actually. I met the Gemini when I was like, 14. She was 12. Basically, we ain't part up until I was 17, 3 years later. when I was a senior in high school. So I've been in love with that Gemini for years. She was a model. You know what I'm saying? Or wanted to be a model. Very beautiful. Puerto Rican too. A lot of people in New York, especially in my neighborhood, are Puerto Ricans, right? So, the point that I'm trying to make here with that is a lot of you are in a situation where you don't have time anymore to deal with a person who doesn't want to get back up. Just let life treat them like trash, and then now all of a sudden they don't want to live their life anymore. They don't want to do anything for themselves. They just want to remain broken. That's not what you Geminis are on, right? Let's clarify the Six of Wands. The Hanged Man, the Magician, Gemini, the Afterlife card, I can't say the D word, the Two of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. This proves my point. This drives the point home. These 5 cards, they're not going, let me show you, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. You Geminis are 100% right, leaving them alone. Because you Geminis are working double shifts. You Geminis are meditating. You Geminis are making sure that you actually listen to your own self. When you want to hang out with other people, you hang out. When you want time by yourself, you have time by yourself. Sometimes Geminis and trust me, Virgos go through this too, if in case you wanted to know. But sometimes Geminis don't have time for themselves because they're hanging out with somebody or others, right? Group of people that is occupying a lot of their time. And the Gemini will be like, I'm trying to figure out how to actually kind of not have you around right now so I can do whatever I want. And sometimes Geminis don't feel like they have enough time for themselves. Virgos be experiencing the same thing. So that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to over 100K, or 16,500 and change. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Oh yeah, and come through and get some of the readings, right? That way I can get I can keep the channel up. The link to that, how you can do that, is in the comment section below. It's the pinned comment called the Linktree link. Come through. Peace.